Welcome back to Poddy Talk,
the podcast where we shit talk ourselves. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
And today we have a very special return episode, all themed around the one and only Torchella event. Tor, what is Torchella?
Well, first, can I just start by saying that we finally sound like we're on a podcast because it only took us 59 episodes to actually bring you quality sound. And I'm so sorry for that.
Everyone that was commenting saying they were going to miss us on our little mini hiatus, I hope you're happy with this return.
You're going to be thrilled.
We said we would come back better than ever, and look, we have real podcast mics.
Real mics and real merch, so we're just coming in hot.
We told you, better than ever.
Let's roll the intro.
I always forget about the intro now because we don't have the fun fact.
I know, but I said on the podcast, I made the announcement we're never going back to that, and I really did mean what I said.
I'm kind of sad about it, but there's just so much to dive into. Let's just talk about the event that is Torchella, your birthday weekend.
Yeah.
We've been back for what, 2 weeks now? A week and a half?
A week and a half.
I still have the bug bite scars on my legs to prove it.
Oh my God, they do look like scars.
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
I don't know. I hope they heal. I was so attacked viciously while being out in the wild. I don't even want to insert a picture because I don't even want to expose my swollen, disgusting feet on the internet, but I was unwell.
It's weird also because it wasn't consistent. It's half the group got bitten alive and then myself included did not. Like there was like 5 of us that were.
Well, I think there is more of an actual connection. I think the people that laid outside for 6 hours watching shooting stars up into the wee hours of the morning all got maliciously attacked. But then the people who were more reasonable like you who went inside upon nightfall.
True.
You guys were fine.
I understand. Yeah, well, we were kind of keeping track of just the hilarity that was ensuing over the week, and so we've written things down. Well, Jaclyn has at least kept track of some of the things.
It was a 4-day extravaganza, and I swear to God, every hour something just either hilarious, horrible, like so many podcast-worthy moments that I was like, we need to share this on the pod happened. So we knew that our return episode had to be all around Torchella because your birthday weekend has truly turned into an event that even now...
The brand awareness is shocking.
Passerbys know what this is. And we will get into it at Paparazzi experience towards the end. But I think we should go in chronological order and start off...
at the beginning.
We were heading to Prince Edward County. It was a new venue for your birthday weekend. You had to keep it very small and exclusive to follow, obviously, COVID guidelines. It was pretty much just your family and like 3 or 4 friends.
Yeah.
And we arrived and it's like this not abandoned church, this redone church that has definitely some like energy to it.
Well, they've done a really good job. They basically last year took this church, like an original standing church, and then transformed it into a Airbnb, but with like really nice finishes. It's really well kept and it's pretty and aesthetic and all these things. But then it's weird because it is a church, so then they kept all of those very interesting little quirks about it. Like there was literally a confessions booth, which I don't think I need to explain that. I think everyone knows why they would go into a confessions booth if they went to church. But
is it called a confessions booth or a confessional?
Didn't it say confessions on it?
Yeah. Is it called a confessional, though? I actually don't know.
I've never been to church.
Okay, so we're not the ones to ask.
I've been to that house.
That was your first experience at church, was this?
I've been to that house. But no, it was just very funny because they kind of were like, they had a play on the whole idea that it was like sinners welcome. Like it wasn't actually trying to be anything that it wasn't. I don't know. I can't really explain it.
No, it was incredibly done. It was also hilarious because, well, let's explain the rooming situation because the main part of the church, they had just installed AC. We're in like the dead of August. Like it's hot out.
True.
So you were in the main part of the church, this beautiful, like it was like not the overhang of the church, but apparently like where the organ would go. Someone said that. That's Megan was very, very about, this is where this
where
would
she
go.
was sleeping, where the organ would go.
One of them.
Yeah, because
I thought she was in the pulpit.
You're right. I was where the organ would go.
Is that what that was?
Again, never been to church. I don't
even know if it's called a pulpit, but I feel like I heard her say water veg in pulpit about 500 times over those 4 days.
That's funny.
So our friend Megan Taylor, who is Irish, and she's been on the pod, we call her exclusively by her full name. She got the pulpit. Question mark? Is that what it's called?
I wish I could help us here. I cannot.
But what was interesting about her room is that it was a direct, like, straight upwards climbing ladder to get in. Like, it wasn't like there was stairs. It was a very I would say
it was very
questionable
dramatic.
entrance.
Like, you know, when you're a kid at sleepover camp and you have to like
a
climb
bunk
up
bed.
the vertical ladder.
Yes,
That's
yes.
exactly what it was like, but double the size of what a bunk bed ladder would be. So like kind of a bit of a hazard.
And then also when you're up there, there's just a giant hole in the floor to get back down. So it is like a little
it's just shocking.
prone.
And then also she is someone that would go the extra mile and have those extra drinks. So it's like we first considered, is this the right person to send up there?
I remember taking her luggage out of there. I climbed up and overhead carried the luggage down, only to be told, no, I want the pulpit.
We were literally debating in our head where certain people should sleep depending on how inebriated they would be and how far they'd have to go to get to a bed. Like, it was all in consideration.
She should not have been up there, I'll just tell you that. But so that was the main room. And then there was kind of an extension that was built onto the church. And that did not have AC, those rooms, which I was in one of those rooms. I got my own exclusive room the first night. And another couple was in the other room. But then what makes it even funnier is there was people that didn't even make it into that part of the house. You had your sister and your brother and your brother-in-law, basically,
in an RV
in the driveway.
And that just feels right to me, if I'm honest. I think that...
Did you suggest an RV, or like how did that even happen?
No, I don't really remember.
You're not invited into the real house.
Well, it wasn't as deliberate as that, but it was sort of a conversation of, hey guys, I really want you to come, but I'm on such like tight, sort of invite lists because of COVID and because of the size of this house, but I really want you guys to come. And jokingly, I think my sister was like, oh, John and I can just get an RV. And I truly and honestly thought she was kidding.
But it makes so much sense.
She wasn't kidding at all. And they literally rode up in the RV. My brother came for his first Torchella. He loved it. So the three of them stayed in this RV.
And I have to say, throughout the nights, the RV became an integral part of the experience.
And the stories, it's true.
A great viewing shooting star area. Well, your sister got concussed at one point from the RV.
Yeah, you guys, it's funny that you actually manifested that because... Remember like a month and a half ago, you were like, I just feel like the RV is going to have its own moment.
Yeah.
And then
it did.
And then it did. So I feel like you knew that it was going to get a bit of love.
I did. Now, this year we also had to take Torchella, of course, to the next level because you all know Torri. She is the most extra and she deserves the most elevated experience.
Oh, thank you.
And last year we had our first iteration of merch, I would say. We had a couple of tie-dye t-shirts, but it was setting the bar at a low standard. We knew we could expand and get better. So this year, Megan and our friend Mackenzie, who is our resident bartender of Potty Talk After Dark, decided to up it, and we wanted crew necks, and we wanted to personalize them.
Which I have to say, they did a fabulous job. If you're watching the YouTube video, you'll be able to see. But it's weird. Jaclyn clearly washed hers too many times or something, because mine is way darker than hers.
Well, you know what? We had like a seniority list of like whose sweaters we did first, kind of. Because, we ended up ordering, since tie-dye is such a huge thing over quarantine, it was kind of hard to get our hands on the proper tie-dye colors. And we knew we wanted to do pinks for you and orange. Like, that's very just the Torchella spirit, right? So
they were liked that it was the same colors as last year.
Yeah. We were thinking maybe doing...
Or did you guys just have that left over in the closet?
God. No. Oh. We it was hard for us to find the tie-dye colors.
Kidding.
And anyway, so then we had ordered some, but then we realized, oh crap, we might not have enough dye actually. Like midway I was doing them, I was like, I don't think we have enough. So we're like, okay, we have to go in order of like who's the most priority. So we did yours first, and I spent the most time doing yours because like obviously yours had to come out the best.
Oh, nice.
And I would have to say yours did come out the best.
Thank you.
And yours is the most beautiful salmon color.
I love it.
Mine could use a bit of work, but I'm loving it.
I just think it's really ridiculous on some level that
I'm just cracking my back.
I know.
I was trying to show the Torchella, but then I ended up going into a deep full body stretch.
It's just interesting that there's merch at my birthday party. I think something about
that
says
normal.
A lot about
me.
Exactly.
That is not. the lengths we go for your birthday weekend, the fact that it's even called Torchella.
But then part of me, or at least I started to think this year in hopes of that this is the truth, because I hope it is, that I hope that it's not that everyone's there just being like, oh my God, we love Torri. I think a lot of it too is just like the experience of the group. It's like the collective like cottage weekend. It's the summer, midsummer vibe. Like as much as I know like it's branded as my birthday, I feel like we could take my birthday out of it and it would still live. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. I mean, obviously it is your birthday and I think we're all very happy and excited to celebrate your birthday as friends of yours. But I agree, the vibe of...
It's just a vibe.
Well, independently, I think we were saying this, like everyone is independently friends,
yes,
and it is just a great friend cottage getaway. So it's it's the kickoff to summer.
It really is, which is shocking. That's at the end of middle of August.
The grand finale to summer, maybe.
Literally. Well, then the funny part of this year was that it got a little zesty with the budget because basically
Keith.
Yeah.
I forgot all about Keith.
So I had booked a couple. Well, actually, it all started when I thought that wine tours were not happening because of COVID. Like, I was under the impression that if we went out to the county, we wouldn't necessarily be able to get in anywhere. I didn't really know. And I kind of looked into it, clearly lazily, because I kind of came up short and thought that we wouldn't be able to get in anywhere.
Yeah.
But then our friend Megan, who we've now spoken about too many times on this podcast. Megan Taylor, let that be known. She circled back into my itinerary, my Google Drive. Let's be clear, there was also an itinerary for this weekend. And she started to make edits to the days. And she's like, okay, we're going to Norman Hardy and we're going to
Can I add a little asterisk in there? Not only is she doing edits, Torri had a rough schedule of like foods because each person is in charge of like a meal. So that way we divide all the responsibility.
Right.
And so say I had like a bagel breakfast. I was assigned bagel and toast breakfast. So bring a couple of like avocado spreads, some cream cheeses.
We were so shockingly organized this year.
That's what my meal is. Then I see there's a revision by Megan Taylor, Eggs Benedict. We're at a cottage weekend. What? She's making revisions on my meal. So that was just one of the revisions, but she elevated many of the other things as well.
She did. So she basically said, she basically put in the itinerary that we had organized all these wineries, which was fantastic. It was like 2 days of wineries and kind of touring around the county. But then the issue became, oh no, that means we're going to have a couple designated drivers. There was 10 of us, so we could fit in 2 cars, but that still means 2 people living in sobriety on Torchella weekend, which is a bit shocking.
And to be fair, it also was a week, like not a weekend, it was a weekday, so a lot of people took off work for that. So it kind of sucks if someone couldn't have the full experience.
You're right. I should say that, not just make us seem like alcoholics. But yes, you're right. Everyone wanted to like have a good time because and it's a short period of time. Like, you want to enjoy it. So I had put out a bit of a feeler. Oh, anyone? DD? No response, which is my friend group, which I love. And
no one steps up to the plate.
No one steps up. And so I was like, okay. And then I was just going to do it because I was like, I don't care. But then I was like, oh, no one's going to let me do it. So that means someone's going to take the L and they're going to end up driving. So then I thought to myself, what is the next best move that I make here? So I did some research, sent some emails. And I landed on this limousine company. And they basically have what was it? Like a Mercedes Sprinter,
like a Sprinter van. Yeah.
But like sort of like a limo on the inside, like not a van. Like you face each other like a limo.
It was like a Sprinter van, but then also turned party bus inside.
Yes, I couldn't explain. So something like that. And I call them and I'm like, hi, are you available? And at first I just asked for my birthday because I thought, okay, on my birthday, everyone will let loose.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah. And I said, oh, great. They gave me a quote. And then just in the spur of the moment, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, you know what? Let's just make it 2 days. Let's just book you for both days. And so
a driver for Torchella.
Did. Yeah. So then we had a personal driver named Keith for Torchella, and he literally drove us around the county. And
I also want to give a shout out to Keith because he was a fan. I will say
that's true too. And it was kind of interesting because I never consider myself any level of celebrity, like at all. Like I consider myself like bottom of the barrel.
No, but you also have been on a huge TV show and.
But if there's an A-list to a Z-list, like I'm like a Z-list.
No, but you're just being humble. But people obviously do know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know why Keith knew who I was. but yes, I assume some people know who I am. But it was just kind of funny because he's like, I've never had a celebrity before. And I was like, interesting.
He definitely was making it a little, like, he was being sweet. So that's why I feel bad to like give any type of negative energy. But it also was hard because it's like you are...
And I think in those moments, like as much as I love attention, I actually love being invisible. Like in those scenarios where it's just like, I want to have fun with my friends. In fact, those are the moments I want to be invisible.
Exactly. If he's making comments continually about, Instagram and like take a picture.
And it's like,
like
I'm just like letting loose. Like this is exactly what I don't want to be like.
Well, it's also like there's a fine line. I think it's like acknowledging, hey, oh my gosh, like my daughter watches your show or whatever the line is. But then also it's like not making you feel uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is hard. And I get it. Sometimes people
it goes both ways. But then it was cute. We stopped for ice cream and then a local like girl recognized me as well. I was just like famous in the county.
You were.
I don't know, but she was lovely and she was super nice. But definitely interesting. But the long and short of it was we got a driver for the week. And so he drove us around. We lived our best lives. And I'm trying to think of like some of the highlights of those days.
There's way too many highlights. I mean, so personally, I saw my very first and 26th shooting star. I had never seen a shooting star before in my life. And apparently...
Wait, that was the first time you've ever seen a shooting star?
Yep.
How did that make you feel?
It was a big experience for me. That's why I got so excited. I started dancing to WAP by Cardi B, and I fell over and have a huge scar on my ankle and was gushing blood.
The fact that people are going to have scars from Torchella weekend.
Well, I also climbed that tree with John, right? So my arms were quite beat up for a while, but I'm slowly recovering. I'm feeling pretty good now.
Was that night one that you climbed the tree? Yes. So let's talk about night one, because that's where things get very blurry for me. Jaclyn and I were in an insane dance-off. I can't even explain the energy that was coming out of my body.
I think we performed for 3.5 hours.
No, it's like I hadn't moved since 1996. It was absolutely shocking. We were just given the moves, like going in like Jagger. Like I couldn't explain.
We were doing also like tricks together. Like we had an airplane lift at
To
one
be
point.
fair, I don't think we've really ever been at that level together, maybe, which is shocking.
It was.
It's shocking that all we did, because we always joke, whenever I have like a really zesty night, Jaclyn's like the sober one, and then whenever Jaclyn's having a zesty night, I'm the sober one. Like we never match up on our like party nights. But what's so funny is if that is the night we did align, that all we did was perform for the crowd for 3 hours.
We were so synchronized. It was actually shocking. Any dance move, we would just
dive right in.
We woke up with injuries the next day,
I was
I will say.
sore the next day.
Yeah, something about, I mean, there's very much
old.
so like a country bumpkin in me. It's where I came from, my roots, you know. So whenever, like, being out in the county just brought it out of me. There was this gorgeous backyard and the swamp and the lake, and there's this amazing tree. So, like, of course I had to climb it. Of course I had to barrel roll through the fields. Like,
I understand.
I can't help it sometimes.
I'm not like that. I don't need to barrel. I feel like I can enjoy the nature, but from a distance with my cute little satchel and shoes.
It's admirable. Well, oh my God, that brings me to my story. Well, that kicked off the first night of just the profuse sweating. And I think about half of us were experiencing it. And I can't even speak to the full extent because your poor sister and brother and brother-in-law were in the RV sweating it out all evening.
It was just really
humid
hot
that first night.
Yeah.
But all evening, it was just from the dance performances to just the humidity. I was drenched, like completely dripping sweat.
And then what's really crazy is I was actually freezing on the other side of the house.
So what happened? So it was Steven and Rebecca and me who were in the extension of the house that didn't have the AC. We didn't know at this point that the AC didn't work there. So there was also a little like thermostat in that part of the house that you would assume would control the air in those rooms. But no, it actually only operated the main church. So we're like freezing. We're dying all night. Like we cannot get to a regular temperature. Like, you know, when you're in bed, you're sticky, everything's sticking to you. We were all just unwell and had been hot all day. Like we haven't had a moment of relief. And again, the performance didn't help. Like that just intensified my body temperature. I was
sweaty that night.
So we kept like, we're dropping down the AC, like confused. Why are our rooms so hot still? And then we find out the next morning you were all freezing in the church because they were only operating theirs.
Oh my
so you guys woke up freezing. We were still just dripping and confused and just.
I'm sorry.
That was night one, but it was a great first night. I feel like I had a great rally in me. And
night one, I can't explain something about the first night of any party.
There's just so much build up, right?
It's the best. I can't explain it. Like nothing will feel the same.
Well, and I find especially like because of COVID, I had only really seen you and maybe like 2 other of the friends who were there.
Yeah.
And the rest, like your family, I hadn't seen. So I like hadn't been around really, I feel like a proper group of people. Right. So it's just like so fun to like be around all my friends again and like hang out. And so like there was just so much like
energy.
You know?
By night 2, I am like a baby if I don't get enough sleep. So I took myself to bed pretty early on night 2, but I awake and I arise to the sound of Jaclyn. I literally kid you not, she hyenas. I can't even explain it. That's the movement you did. It was a hyena movement.
I also don't think that was me. I think you
I literally looked at you and I saw you and I go, Jaclyn. I'm so mad. It's 2 a.m. and her and our other friend Steven are legitimately gallivanting and hyenaing around the condo. They had already awoken Meg in the pit. What did you call it?
The pulpit?
The pulpit. So they've gone up and now they've come to the orchestra's lounge where I'm sleeping and they literally are just waking up the entire house. And they were into the tequila that night and I just knew, and I look at Jaclyn and I go, Jaclyn! And she literally doesn't even turn around. She runs.
No, I was army crawling. Okay, so let me preface. This also was the second night of our shooting star experience.
Extravaganza.
And we found out actually on that day that there was a meteor shower, and that's why those 2 nights had so many shooting stars. Like it was, literally
we thought
never
at first maybe we just were getting lucky.
People thought I was making this up. So I was out there with Mackenzie and John maybe, and at first I was like, oh my God, a shooting star. And then someone else would see one, and then someone else would. And all of you inside the house who were coming out, you know, every half an hour or so. You're like, shut up, guys. You're not seeing that many. And then turns out there was a meteor shower. So we were not lying. We were seeing the most beautiful, insane. It was like the clearest sky too. It was
I understand
so beautiful.
what you're saying, but what I don't understand is how that reflects to you waking up the house at 2:30 in the morning.
No. So that was just the beginning. So we were all very excited, you know? And then we go, oh my God, let's go to the new viewing station upon the RV. So we climb up the RV.
Yeah.
And at this point, Emily was there too. And like,
I heard people were like throwing shoes.
No,
off the RV.
that was John who concussed your sister. So no, we were all laying on the RV, and it was like, honestly, like, it felt like a movie. Like, you're just laying there having a good time, watching the shooting stars. We were all giggling. Like, it was just like fun. It was beautiful out. And then I will say, some people were definitely having a great time. And
I heard that the neighbor at one point goes, "Shut the fuck up!"
That was actually from the first night. We were out making a fire.
But it's so weird because
it was
we're
also
not
at
that
10
loud.
Okay.
Are we?
No, we are loud. But to be fair, the evening that happened, there wasn't even anything going on. Like, it was
Can
like
you
10
just
o'clock.
imagine you're watching beautiful shooting stars and you're like, whoa, and someone goes, "Shut the fuck
That's what it was. This woman, like, at the top of her lungs, it actually made me feel bad. Like, it sounded like she had strained maybe a vocal cord. It was like, shut the fuck. And it was, what was so alarming is I feel like I'm fairly...
All this time it was me hiding in the underbush.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I'm fairly self-aware. Like, I know if we're all being idiots or we're being loud. And the thing is,
That's true. I'm the same. I'm very aware.
Totally unwarranted. Like, it was
Yeah.
10:30. Your brother
I
had
hate
just made a
that.
fire. There was only 3 of us outside. And
I gotta say, I hate that
the
so
thing
much.
is, we're also out in the country. Like, the neighbors are quite, like, a ways over. So, like...
But maybe that's why,
the sound
because
travels?
it might bounce, right? Like it bounces off the water, so it like actually gets louder. Have you heard that? Like,
yeah, but also we weren't on the water.
close enough.
Like, that's
How close do you have to be?
Like, I don't know.
Like walking distance. For
I don't
sure.
know. But the thing is also, I did have
Don't
some
listen to
empathy
me, I don't
because, to be fair, it would be kind of hard. Like, the place that you had rented, it's quite known in the area for, like, being the Airbnb to be at.
Right.
So you do have some empathy for people that are neighbors that probably are so used to people just coming in and out and partying and being
I
loud
get
and
it,
being
yeah.
idiots.
That's
so
hard.
To them, it was our first night, but to them, it probably was night 20 of people in the
I
backyard.
know.
Like,
It's hard to be a neighbor.
But also
of
in that moment,
of
I
an
had no
Airbnb.
empathy. I was like, man,
Well,
there's a way to
yeah.
go about it. One, we weren't
know.
being loud. There was
So weird.
4 of us in the backyard. And 2, it's like one thing to be like, guys, can you quiet? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It did seem a little like, but you
I
never
agree.
know. I try to
agree.
always be like, you don't know what they're dealing with, but it
True.
was a little shocking.
True.
I digress. We're on the RV rooftop. At that point, I think maybe John had asked for a beverage from your sister. She goes into the house to grab like
Beveragino?
did someone say Beveragino?
We'll get into that, I
That's
guess.
our
That's a
next
whole
story.
other story. I forgot about that until you
That
just said
was in the notes. That's coming up. But we've also got, stay tuned, Pilot Pete made an appearance. So
forgot
don't
about
exit the
all of
podcast
that.
just yet.
Oh my god.
There's too much. So at that point, we're all laying like so shocked. I think we're on shooting star 36. Everyone else said 24. They were saying I was interpretive counting, which I don't think I was, but whatever. But at this point anyway, so John was like, hey, can you toss me a drink up? And your sister goes like on the ground, like a story below the RV basically, throws up a can. And I guess John just swats it down, like badminton, just back down. And it like open fists, like basically spike balls, a full cold can of whatever.
Oh, no.
And it hit her apparently on the forehead and like did not do
bad?
I don't know. I honestly, in that moment, I was not paying attention to that. But later, she wakes up and she's like, "Ow, my head is so sore."
Aw.
John hit a can. Like it was
That
just
sucks.
poor Paige.
This is when I was asleep. So then Jaclyn proceeded.
And then it goes on. I think at one point, I was also wide awake at this point. Like I was not ready to go to bed. And it's not that I was like being crazy, but I was just wide awake. I was like, I'm not tired. I'm not going to sleep. And I'm also still a little sweaty. So then I think at one point, Steven had made a comment. He's like, oh, we should go see Megan Taylor, make sure she's okay in the pulpit.
This is when they climbed
up
the vertical ladder.
And I was army crawling to be respectful, actually, so that way I didn't awake her if she wasn't awakened.
Yeah, but okay, let me be clear. This is the most open concept house. So, like, I can literally see Megan's bed across the way. She can see over to me. Like, it's a church. Like,
There's
I would
no
be the
rooms.
orchestra. She's the pulpit. Like, I can't explain it any other way. And there's no room. So literally, you guys even coming into that side of the house
loud
is
nuisance.
Hilarious that you thought that you were going to army crawl your way out of it.
Well, and then the shocking part from what I hear, so we end up kind of gently awaking Megan. We give her a little cuddle.
No, that's so untrue. The way Megan tells the story is she goes, I literally wake up and they're on me, and they're like,
we give her a little bear hug and just give her a little kiss on the head.
Do you know how scary that is at 2:30 in the morning?
But then apparently what was the most shocking is that Steven walked. I can't even say it.
Yeah, I heard
again,
this.
These are the
this
vertical
is hearsay.
stairs.
Okay, this is hearsay, but I heard that he exited down the stairs head first.
And as if it was actual stairs. He just walked
feet first.
But we're talking a vertical climb up ladder. He just walked down the other way like it was steps and didn't fall, which is like crazy.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, when you guys first told the story the next day, I don't know who told the story.
I don't think he went head first.
No, someone said to me he went down head first, and I go, wait, what? That means ladder,
the story is
and then your head is
getting
going
convoluted.
down. But then really it means foot first, facing forward.
Which
That's
is almost
what's
scarier.
Yeah, that's scarier.
Could have died.
But I was shot up immediately. I'm a pretty light sleeper, and I see Megan with like her literal hair covering her face, and she's like, "They just woke me up." And then I look down, and now I see that they're actually trying to come up my stairs to literally wake me up.
Okay, so Steven and Adam, Tori's boyfriend, have a bit of a bromance. So Steven goes, I gotta go say goodnight to Adam. I gotta go see him. So I was like, at this point, I knew you would have been mad if we woke you up. I assumed we hadn't woken you up. That was my poor judgment call. So you clearly were already awake, but I go, oh, I don't know if we should. He goes, I need to go see my Adam. So he starts to go up, and that's when I think I heard you make a noise, so I just ran out of there.
Yeah, I go what? Scene. And then I go, Jaclyn! And then she's literally fucking gallivanting away from me. So then I literally get out of bed, and I go downstairs, and I open the door, and I go, shut the fuck up. And then all along, I was the one screaming.
You were the neighbor.
You guys did quiet down after
We did. We listened.
Scorned you.
I had a moment going, that was disrespectful. I won't do it again, ma'am. And I retired. That was night 2. Now fast forward, day 3. This is your actual birthday. You wake up, you're feeling good. Yeah. We have another wine tour that day. This is also the day the iconic Beveragino TikTok was recorded and Pilot Pete attended Torchella. Where do we begin?
Okay, the Beveragino thing, I don't know where it actually started as an idea.
I think we just thought the TikTok was funny.
We thought the TikTok was funny. Go watch it if you don't know what we're talking about. But essentially,
we can insert it. I'll insert it in editing right now.
What a lovely evening. I wish my friends were here for a Beveragino. Did someone say Beveragino?
Did someone say Beveragino?
Did someone say Beveragino? Cheers.
Did somebody say Beveragino?
Someone say Beveragino.
Did someone say Beveragino?
Did someone say Beveragino?
Did somebody say Beveragino?
British group that sort of started this joke on TikTok where someone's bored and they say, "Oh, I so wish my friends were here to have a Beveragino," but in a British accent, and then they all collectively,
as you would say, a Beveragino,
a Beveragino, and then they all sort of jump in, and the friends come out of more and more wild places to kind of surprise the audience, and they all say, "Did someone say Beveragino?" So you can imagine we have a group of 10 people that are inebriated and that are happily cheerleading Beveraginos all day long. So we decided to emulate this TikTok and bring it to life in the Torchella spirit that we know TikTok needs. And
it felt so right. We all had
did
the
it in this church.
On.
It also just worked because that location had all those special little spots. Someone came out of the confessional. Someone came you came out of the sheet. Someone else came out of the tent. There was all these little entrances that just worked so well. We did put our own creative flair on it because our resident bartender Mackenzie obviously took one to the mouth, meaning they took the beer and they just literally shoved it into her mouth.
From the pulpit to the floor.
From the pulpit to where the priest stands, right?
From the pulpit to the tracheus.
Okay. Bro, you've lost me, but yeah.
Esophagus?
I don't know, but anyways, so it was a success. We thought it would go more viral than it did.
Honestly, I have to say it underperformed, and I'm really upset.
I know.
I posted TikTok a few days later. No effort. Took me one take. Got 300,000 views.
I don't get it.
And I'm like, that wasn't the one that was supposed to go off.
I know.
But you can't control it.
I know, it is so weird like that.
I just wanted people to the thing is, we thought it was so incredible because it was us, but
And
maybe it
maybe
wasn't
that's
it.
it,
Maybe it
right?
just wasn't that good.
But then at the same
I
time,
think it
it
was
made
great.
me feel like okay about it because I loved it so much. And I feel like
Same, I don't
sometimes content that's created in that spirit of like, this was just so fun, then no, you don't even care if it performs because you're like,
Totally.
it was amazing.
So even a better story, which I feel like I also need to include an insert video of this
my
moment as well,
God.
is Pilot Pete. So listen to this.
I will
So-
tell it from my perspective because I feel like it's shocking.
No, you definitely need to share. So let me set the scene a little bit. So another part of Tori's surprise gift from me, Mackenzie, and Megan was we wanted to have this beautiful catered dinner and to really, again,
Which they killed.
elevate
It was
the
amazing,
experience.
yeah.
So we had this gorgeous, incredible dinner. The food was so good. And I was so full that night. I feel like I couldn't even like eat as much as I should have. The food was so incredible. It was
Yeah.
outside. Like the sun was setting. It was just like great vibes all around. In the meantime, Adam is like scurrying off. I knew there was like a bit of a rumor of another surprise happening, but they didn't tell. Like I knew something was happening, but I didn't know what was happening.
That one really came out of left field for me, I'm going to be honest. Like
Yeah.
the dinner thing, I obviously knew you guys were in charge of, so I knew there might
Something
be
was
something
happening, yeah.
going on. But the Adam surprise later on was shocking.
Yeah, and it was honestly so well done. So we basically, after the dinner, Adam goes, everyone come into the house. I have something set up, and then a video starts to play.
Okay.
Take it away, Tor.
So we're all sitting on the couch, and the video kind of opens, and it's all these like amazing close friends of mine. Like Madison was on it, my friend June, like a lot of people that are like out of the country and like not available to obviously like be with me or like wish me a happy birthday in any real capacity. So it was so sweet and so nice and so thoughtful, and Adam edited it all together.
Even I was
and
crying.
Yeah, it was very emotional. Like I don't know why, but
it was the music
the
too.
soundtrack
It was-
and the fact that everyone was like talking very like softly, and they're like, "We love you." Like it was just so nice.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Very cute. So I'm like literally bawling. It's like all my close friends sending me these like love notes basically. And then all of a sudden it cuts from like one of my really close friends. I'm like wiping my tears, and then this like man appears on the screen.
Also, for context, Adam tells me right before it starts, he goes, "Can you record Tori the whole time?" Because like he wants to have
The reaction.
because he knows there's going to be a
Oh,
big
yeah, you had a
reaction.
camera on me.
So I had a camera on Tori the whole time.
Right. So then I turn to Jaclyn and I go, "Who the fuck is that?" And then she looks at me and she's like, I don't know. And at first I was like, okay, wait, is this like one of Adam's like London friends? And I actually forgot that I know him. And like, and I was so confused.
What was a little odd is, so yeah, the next person pops up on camera and they're like, "Tori, I'm so
But yeah,
sad
he's
I couldn't
acting
be
like I
there."
knew him.
And he did almost look familiar, but
That's
I was
what I'm
like,
saying. It was so
I didn't know.
weird.
So that's why I kind of turned to Ken's. I go, "Who was that?" Like assuming it was a friend that I
Right.
just didn't know of yours.
Then someone goes, "Oh, it's Pete." And then one of our friends' boyfriend's names is Pete. So I was like, "Oh, wait, what?" But I was like, that's not, like, I'm so confused. He doesn't look like the same guy that I know. And then all of a sudden someone goes, "No, the Bachelor, Peter." And then all I hear in the background is, "That's his little brother."
That's not Pete.
It's his little brother.
Well, what's even funnier is that
Which Adam
on-
clearly didn't know. Let me preface that.
on the video, Adam's behind you, and he's kind of like, you can tell he's really excited
Waiting
for this to
for
come
me to
on.
get excited.
And then you're confused, and he's like, "It's the Bachelor," but you can tell he says it like with a little bit of like a shaky voice.
Hesitation?
He's
Yeah.
at that moment realizing that something is off because you would have known if it was the Bachelor.
So we start like dying of laughter because basically Adam has paid for a cameo, but it's the wrong guy. Like it's just not the Bachelor, it's the younger brother.
His big idea is that he's gonna surprise Tori, pay for this video, on
my
Cameo,
God.
because we all obviously love watching The Bachelor, so thinking that it would
Yes.
be such a sweet surprise. But
It's the
turns
wrong
out he
guy.
like bought Pilot Pete's little brother's
younger
kid,
brother, like Jake
but
or
like
something?
we wouldn't know him like
No,
that.
I didn't know who he was. But then it got even funnier because then it cuts to the next screen and it's Ed Sheeran.
What's up, Torri Webster? First off, awesome last name. I gotta say, I'm not biased or anything, but let's go Team Web.
Who is that? Who is that?
Keep that guy around. He seems
You don't know who that.
Who is this? Nice birthday.
Who is it?
Seems like a great guy.
Guy from The Bachelor.
Pete Webster?
Yeah.
Who is that? Wait, what? Who was that?
It looks so different. It's Pilot Pete.
It's Pete.
From The Bachelor.
Wait,
What? I'm so confused. Who is it?
who is that?
Pete from The Bachelor.
No, it's Pete's younger brother.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Wait, what? Who is?
Pilot Pete's younger brother.
How is he in this video?
Hey Tori, it's Ed here, and I'm wishing you a happy 24th birthday via video message.
And we literally freak out. Everyone starts screaming. We're
It
like, oh my
did
God.
look like Ed Sheeran,
Then
I
all of a
will-
sudden, what do we realize? oh, it's just a doppelganger event.
It's a fake Ed.
So
But
it's
also,
like-
the fact that he also chose to get fake
that's
Ed
what I'm
Sheeran.
saying. It's like you got a fake Ed Sheeran and a bachelor who's actually not the bachelor. Like, it could not have been funnier. Like, it made it even better.
It's
'cause
even
it was so funny.
better because Adam is such a perfectionist, and you could tell he was kind of upset that he had
I
screwed it
know.
up. He thought he got the Bachelor, and
But
he didn't.
we got such a good laugh
But
out of it. I
so
didn't
much
even
better.
care. Yeah, I thought
Exactly.
it was so funny.
Well, I was almost expecting when I saw like some of the cameos happening. I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna get like, you know how like the Vlog Squad is on Cameo. I was like, can you imagine if Bardon comes up?
What
on
if it
screen
was?
or
What if it was David?
Stop.
I
We talk
would
about David
die.
Dobrik too much on
Could
this
you
podcast.
imagine if David did a cameo for me? Oh,
Ugh,
die
next
for
time,
that.
Adam, take notes. But no, it was so
he doesn't listen
iconic.
to this podcast. I can tell you that much.
Adam, we'll
I
text you.
actually
and let
don't
you
think
know.
he's listened to one episode.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Whatever. It's actually better. That means I can just say whatever the fuck I want.
Anyways, it was so iconic, and it honestly had me almost to the point that I was like pee laughing. Like
It
I
was
was
very
laughing
funny.
so hard. It was just such a roller coaster of emotions.
It
From
was.
you
That's how I was
crying
explaining it to my
being
friend the other day.
confused.
I literally said that. I was like, it was such a roller coaster of emotions because I went from literally bawling my eyes out to being truly flabbergasted and confused and then literally dying of laughter. It was the most amazing experience.
The most incredible thing I think about Torchella as well is obviously we all like to share and post on social. So I feel like everyone, at least like all of our other extended friends, families, any of our audience members kind of know, like even clients of ours will say, oh, we know you're at Torchella. Like it's such
yeah.
a branded weekend. But what really took it to the next level was the fact that we had paparazzi yesterday specifically. So now we have returned back from Prince Edward County. We're back in Toronto living our lives. And everyone that attended obviously got a piece of this lovely custom merch DIY'd by yours truly. And so what happens in our group Torchella text, your sister goes, hey, I just got this message from a friend.
No, I just got this message from my boss.
It was her boss?
Her boss. And she goes, my boss just sent me a photo of someone sitting in a park with what looks to be a Torchella sweater, but it's like a paparazzi photo. So
Like
all of
a
a sudden,
zoomed in, far away picture of a girl with a pink sweater on, very blurry, like low
but
res.
you can see the back of like the Torchella, and we start dying of laughter because it's our friend Mackenzie sitting in the park who's literally gotten like papped. Like she got a photo taken
I
of
didn't
her.
realize it was your sister's boss.
Yes.
How, like,
And
what?
that's what I'm saying. Like our brand awareness has just skyrocketed, and I couldn't be happier. It's fantastic.
That is
Next
too
year we need like some
incredible.
serious sponsors. Like I'm genuinely not kidding.
Well, you know, everyone's getting a case of the Torchellas this year. Specifically, speaking of bosses,
Yeah.
someone in particular who will not be named had to call in sick to work. And
I'm fucking dead by this story. It's so funny.
And now I understand, like, I'm very much so a goody two shoes and likes to do things by the rules. Like, I get the anxiety of calling in sick to work when technically you're away at a cottage. The way that I prefaced to this person, I was like, you know what? It's a mental health day. Like,
Yeah.
you deserve, like, sick days are no questions asked. If you have to call in for a sick day, this is
Didn't
your
I
sick
literally
day.
say it's a mental health day? I need to be drunk with my friends at a cottage, which I don't know if that's an
I don't
acceptable
know if that,
answer,
but you know, same, right? So this person was getting a little stressed and feeling guilty and ended up messaging the morning of, hey, I'm not feeling too well. I'm going to have to bail. So sorry, like can't come into work today. I'm going to use a sick day to their boss. Their boss replies, no problem, of course. It's just like, yep, have a good day. Feel better. Like talk to you soon. And they were a little stressed about it. I was like, it's truly okay. Like everyone does this all the time. Like it's going to be
this
fine.
is normal life. Don't worry.
But I also I get it. I empathize. Then follow up a few days later, when we get back from Torchella, that same boss then replies to this person and goes, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be into work today. I think I got what you had. I'm not going to make it in. Have a good day at work.
I just couldn't. I've caught what you had.
First of all, there's a couple of problems. One, we're in Corona, work from home. So in what world did you catch what
but it's
they
the
had?
fact that like in my soul, I want to believe that this boss actually fully,
Knew it
because
was
of the
up?
brand awareness of our weekend and the fact that this person was also caught in other scenarios by other people because mutual friends saw that they were there and there was photos circulating. Like so much of it
Yeah.
was already so public. What could you imagine if the boss actually knew and
I
then
had a
was
case
like
of Torchellas.
jokingly being like, I caught what you had, meaning I'm also going to drink tequila all day today. Like just undertone, but like that's the truth.
Either way, the fact that someone would say, I caught what you had from a work from home situation and two, when like there's nothing.
But that's what I mean. It's so on the nose that makes
Maybe
me
they were
feel
ahead
like
of us. It
that's
was
what
too
I
high
mean.
level
It was
for
so
us.
high level. It was the joke of I've caught what you had. I'm taking a day off to literally drink my sorrows.
It was too much. I think I had a case of Torchellas. I ended up actually missing it on the debatably worst part of the cleanup, I left at like 5 a.m. the morning of.
yeah,
I
you
had
had
to
a
get
work
back for a work
commitment.
thing. And I ended up having an iconic day. I got so much done, but then that's when I realized that my bug bites were next level, and I was probably scratching my legs and taking Benadryl for 4 days after that.
That's crazy.
yeah.
I, can't believe
I
it's
had a
that
case
bad.
of the Torchellas, I can tell
I
you
mean,
that.
yeah, the Torchellas hit us good. But anyways, roses and thorns. Let's dive in. Maybe roses and thorns.
Torchella
Torchella.
theme?
Yeah.
Okay. Thorn, bug bites,
I mean, yeah.
unwell. I maybe I will just insert a photo. It's so shocking. Like I need actually you guys to empathize with me. It was that bad. A rose is, I mean, I feel like we said this already, but like great vibe. It was really nice having a small group, and again, we're all just such great friends, and I feel lucky that you brought all of us together. You're a connector. That's your being.
Thanks,
and
baby.
it really was a great little birthday week. Another rose was, honestly, I would say all of the food, like everyone chefed it up,
Yeah.
and between the actual chef,
The food was
and
really good.
yeah, like everyone really stepped up to the plate. We had such a elevated experience, as we keep trying to do with Torchella.
Totally.
And a rosebud, something I'm looking forward to is next year. Pending global pandemic,
Yeah.
Torchella is going international. So
Yeah, that has been the rumor, and I could be aligned. 25, halfway to a
midlife crisis. Woohoo!
yeah, halfway to a midlife for sure. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Love that.
What about you? What are your roses and thorns?
Thorn. It's so funny. Like, I feel like a weekend like that, you would think things would go awry, but like nothing went wrong.
The body pains. You for sure had some body pains.
That would definitely be the thorn. You're right. After night one, just the recovery of the Ciroc. Something about peach Ciroc really brings it out of me. I don't know what it is. The devil inside.
I also don't think anyone else had that.
Oh, they absolutely
Really?
did. There were shots
I
going
don't think.
around.
Okay, I just wasn't involved with that because I was gonna say maybe it was all you.
No, because I like got excited and then I was like definitely sharing the peach Ciroc,
But something went wrong.
it's just next level whenever that happens. It was so funny actually because I was out for dinner last night with Adam and some of his friends, and I think I had retold this story like back from Canada Day, but basically on Canada Day the girls and I ran away from the boys and we like drank a bottle of Ciroc. Yeah.
You did tell that story.
But the thing was that on Canada Day, we ran away, and then I was with them last night just, like, catching up, and they literally jokingly were like, so, let's get the girls a bottle of Ciroc tonight, like, we'll get them loose, and they'll have some fun. So something goes wrong with that, but anyways.
Major thorn.
Yeah, major thorn with the peach Ciroc. Rose would just be, like, the general group. Like, I feel like I'm so blessed to have the most diverse like friend group in terms of like how I've met people in life, and it's so crazy that everyone melds together so well. Like someone that I met through work, and then someone that I went to school with, and someone that I like met in my childhood. Like it's shocking to me that all these people can coexist as like friends.
That is
and
true.
Just like function as the best like crew ever. And then another rose was, I would say like all the wineries, like every other Torchella, we haven't necessarily had like an experience. So I thought it was really fun and like different. I think in a typical year, I would actually not like it because our lifestyles are so busy and we're literally always on the go that it's like exhausting to feel like we have another thing on the itinerary. But because of COVID this year and because so much of our life has been so low key, it was nice to like have an experience and like
agree.
go out and
I
like,
agree.
Make fun of the day and like kind
Well,
of.
we said it the whole time. This was like our highlight of the year.
Yeah.
We're like, ooh, we're gonna
Like
go
this
to a
was
winery.
it. Yeah, literally. And then Rosebud, I would say, I'm looking forward to like the truth of the Torchella brand. Like I'm so curious to see where this leads.
What does that mean?
Like
we start selling
like where does
podcast
it go?
merch, but it's just Torchella.
Like where does it go from here? Like I always say to myself, like I dream big, but then I also just like I also I know what you're thinking, but I dream big, but that's not sort of what I mean. I like, my expectations are so high, but I don't only think them, I make it happen. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, I will put my money where my mouth is and I'll make sure the experience is like fantastic.
So you're saying it's going to expand beyond a birthday brand? Or
Unclear.
Just the birthday will expand?
Unclear, but I just know that
We're onto
there's
something.
so many things to come.
Okay.
And that's where I'll leave this episode at.
Well, I wish you all a hydrated week.
I wish you all a watery week.
Same. I hope you enjoyed this return. We're gonna be back. I think we've decided we're gonna do 6 weeks on, 4 weeks off. So you get a little Flavor Flav, you get a little taste of us, and then you get a little goodbye.
Do you remember Flavor Flav?
That rolled up the tongue, but I don't know where in my brain that came
Flavor
from.
Flav. How do you not know what
that
that
an
is?
artist?
Yeah, like he had the whole show, like wasn't it like Love and Hip Hop? Like there was a whole.
Oh, I don't.
And he wore the big clocks and he would like have all these women. It was like the original Bachelor. Oh, I'm getting text.
Speaking of.
We got a dinner to get to. Okay, bye guys.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you like this mic quality. Can
Hope
you
you
hear
love
this
this
in your ears?
ASMR.
Hi, I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
And this is the end.
And we will see you
Next week.
next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.